Grand Rising, good evening, Grand Rising, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. It's your girl, Straight on Chaser with the Queen, here at the throne. So let's come on in here and we're going to talk about, which I am late coming. This week has been hectic. But we're, hey, super magic black, what is it, Black Origin on Instagram. So I was saying early on Instagram that was messing me up. So I don't know how long Instagram is gonna be on. I'm on YouTube too, Kathy. I'm on YouTube. I don't know if it's showing or whatever. But where I'm gonna be showing the slides on YouTube if y'all want to see what I'm talking about. Because I'm gonna go back to the heiress from Publix. And Publix doesn't want to associate themselves with the heiress, but that's who they are. So when it comes down to us, it's guilt by association, right? When it comes down to us, it's guilt by association. Everything we do or say is criminalized. They lump us together and all that. But when it comes down, hey, hey, our God and Nikki on Instagram, yes. But when it comes down to us people, there is a problem. Isn't it amazing how white wealth lets them get away with everything? So if you go ahead and Google or whatever and look up, you will see that Publix, the people, you'll see that the heiress, her name is Julie Jenkins Fancelli. Julie Jenkins Fancelli, right? She's the heiress to Publix. Hey, Brandon Cruz and LeVar, Grand Rising, all of you, Favorite Child, Bugani, greetings, greetings. I'm late. I'm on YouTube and on Instagram. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Okay, thank you all for supporting. So I want y'all to see what's going on because we're gonna start catching these people that's before our eyes. They make it seem like Biden and Kamala is coming in here and all the racism is erased because Trump is gone. When racism has always been going on, right? So if you look on my YouTube channel, I'm gonna show it examples, right? Peace, everyone. Grand Rising. So now they are mad because Julia has donated over $1 million to Trump, but over a half a million or something close to that went to these people at the rally. So what does that let y'all all know? That these people knew that they were planning something, but because the people who are the police or who's in control of the police, um, the people who control the police were them and their family members. I was talking to my son and all them, and it's like, even though we got family members in, even though some of us are righteous, you know how we are melanated people. If you know, hi godson, hi everyone, hey everyone, Soulful Heart 2 on Instagram, Cedric the Zion on Instagram, Nikki 4 2 on Instagram, and Godson and LeVar Price, Bugani, all of you, blessings. So we know how we are. If your person that you knew committed a crime, are we turning our people over? That's why they come with the they have to really play games to get us to tell and turn our people over to them, right? So basically, every time we do something, they make sure we're all associated, right? And if you did a crime, like most of I say drugs because peace and blessings to everyone. I say drugs because if you look at drugs, we would be arrested and anything that is associated to the drugs is taken away. Well, Julia, she's been the heiress to Publix. Her father was George W. Jenkins. He died in 1990 something. So she's the heiress, meaning that was passed on to her. So I want y'all to take away a couple of things from this. Thank you, Brandon Cruzen, for your donation on YouTube, you know I love me some you. Go ahead and put them on blast. Peace, love, and blessings to you and the Black family in the digital building. Peace, love, and blessings to everyone. This road, peace to you, Grand Rising on Instagram. So I want y'all to take away and understand what is going on before your eyes, because these people are the masters of illusion. If you, whatever religion, whatever you are, just know that, like they always say, the spirit of illusion is an illusion. It's time that we start looking at the way we live, the way we wake up, what we do, and how we're controlled and how we're punished in this society, you know? And when we are look around, when it comes down to us, it is a two Americas. When it comes down to them, they are handled different and everything. So basically, back to what I was saying, she funded Trump. She's been putting millions of dollars. These people know that. They spend all these resources infiltrating our neighborhoods and our communities, studying us, always making us the lower, the crime people in this, while they get away with everything in the book. Hey, Kathy on on YouTube. They get away with everything in the book. And they didn't do anything about it because it was them. Some of the senators was some of the senators and everyone at the coup. So Julie Jenkins, who's associated, who's the heiress to Publix. When her father died, that was passed to her. So this is what I'm saying, what you take away from them. This is what we're talking about, white wealth. White wealth gets white wealth. It doesn't matter how they behave. They stick together. They have the money to do this stuff. I'm gonna put up a banner on YouTube. And the question I'm putting out there is, like, everything I'm saying is not against white people, because white people need to wake up to the system that we are in. And I'm going to make this disclaimer that I'm not calling the white people racist. I'm calling the system racist, because the system is racism. The system was put in place when slavery was in place, when they were building America, to make sure that white people benefited, because when it started, white people in their land had nothing. Their land was desecrated. It was dying. They were killing each other. They were putting each other in prisons. They had so many prisons that they had to put them in barges, boats, out in the ocean. These people had a savage culture. Now, our culture was different. When we came upon them to help them, they attacked us. And now they put on the illusion, and they flipped and took our garments and our resources and our crowns and put it on themselves. And they make us look like we're the savages, and that we're always criminals, and we're always up to something, and we're the drug addicts and all that stuff, when we have been at their mercy. And they've been, every time we build ourselves up, they plant drugs, they do this, they kill our leaders, they do this. And when they do stuff, the stuff they do to us affects our whole race. But when they do stuff, it's an excuse. Most of them people in that coup were from the senators were involved. Y'all seen the videos with them letting them in the doors. White wealth is stolen wealth, Bugani said on YouTube. Hi, Amy. Hair Creations, Amy. I hope you emailed me, because you know I got you in with donations. Thank you for your donations when I was trying to buy the towns. We're still doing that. But their wealth gets them the power to do this, and nobody investigated all this stuff that was going on. Trump, the Proud Boys. Y'all see my video on Fly Nubian Queen? When I put up the signs, when Trump first said stand back and stand by, they allow white people to make mistakes without punishment, without shame. When Trump been in office all this time, he didn't create the racism. The racist people knew about him, his daddy and everybody, but they all have been in this together. You can say all the other white people were not racist. Like I said, it's a system that was put in place by their forefathers a long time ago to benefit white people. So when they came to our lands, they took over, enslaved us, stole, lied, and to keep it going, they kept us from reading and everything. And then they do everything they do to us, it is attached to us and as a whole. So now when you got the heiress that makes money from Publix, and as I'm saying, what you take away from this is that they made sure that the world is set up where white people can always make mistakes and build wealth, while me and you are struggling to even understand how to create a business. Hi, Dance Twerk, Dancer Queen. I'm sorry, Dancer Queen on Instagram. Me, Favorable Child on YouTube said, "Facts, straight no chaser with the queen. We are always to blame." Hello, Black Will Rise on YouTube. Let me tell you why we're always, yes, we're always to blame. And everything about our existence is written in their law books. Everything they didn't like about us, everything they put drugs in our neighborhood and then said that marijuana was the worst drug, because they know most of us as black people most black people, if they're gonna do anything, as they say a drug, it's a plant, is marijuana. That was in our history. It's on our wall. They know this. Everything about us, they criminalized. And then at the same hand, when they made it, them and everybody, Dancer Queen, I'm sorry. when they made basically when they basically criminalized us, they criminalized everything about us. Bronze Flat Power King, Peace Queen. I'm talking about the heiress. So basically, they have the finances and the money to pass down to their kids through generations. And this is an example. And this is an example of what they did with their money. What you saying, baby? Generational wealth. Generational wealth, yes. And this is what I'm saying. Take this example of what you see with generational wealth, and they're always able to make mistakes and cover each other up. Weed is only legal in predominantly white states. That's right. They criminalize us and put us in jail. And then that's what I was saying. They turn right around and build businesses. And then out of that business, they got it all out. They put it together so fast because they got the money to back them. Me and you are just realizing most of our black people, we doing essential working and all this. We just getting our online businesses. There is some black corporations out there, but we can't name them off the top of our tongue, I don't think. But yet they have money to throw around to do every and anything. You don't even know that they spending this much money when they have a cause. And then they want to make it seem like that they're suffering like us because they're other white people went in and attacked other white people. They attack the government that makes us the hyphen African American. They attack the government that won't give us reparations, that they built this whole universe, this whole currency system on, but give themselves reparations and everybody else. And then they keep criminalizing us for speaking up against how we are dehumanized. And then they do it because they get to fund themselves because they are still passing on slavery wealth. That's why they don't want to give reparations, because if they gave reparations is so that you could be made whole. Reparations is so that that reparations mean to repair what was broken. I don't know if y'all looked up the word. They got you waiting on Jesus, Muhammad, everybody else, when they are fixing themselves, and the evidence is walk out your door. Go to the courtrooms. Look at your government. But they don't want to associate. Now, let me tell you about Publix. This is what it was, the insult. Like I said, I'm going to show you the pictures over here on YouTube. They are sitting up here telling us to boycott Publix because Julie Jenkins Fancelli funded the rally. And then Publix is saying don't boycott them because they put out a statement saying that she has nothing to do with their operations and this and that. But the money that they're getting from the communities that they place their stores in is funding their families. So she is the company. So what would they do? people if it was us? Shouldn't that company be absolved or whatever? Shouldn't them funds be going back to, some of them funds could be reparations. Most of these white corporations don't want to agree to reparations because they too greedy making millions, and they don't want to send back the money that they corporations, even the ideas that they got from black people. We all know the history, how many inventions was stolen from slaves, and most of the people walking around proud, these white corporations and white companies are walking around proudly, and they know that the history of their people was distilled from their, because there was a slave masters, they were owned the slave in their invention, their intellectual property. Someone said Biden said we need to start kissing ass and the Hispanics because they're about to replace us by 2040. No, honey, they can do whatever they want. But if we are smart black people, that's the whole point. And I'm going to keep calling out the nation of Akibulon. That is going to be a platform for all of us to come together. Shout out to Seven Elements Research and Favorable Child. If you want to get some soaps and candles and stuff, reach out to your sisters and other kings and queens, because we're going to have to start redirecting the money. The whole thing, the point I'm making is that they have the money to do this because we won't wake up. Land, resources, mineral, all that's ours. They are where they at because of us. I'm going to show you how they made it look like it wasn't a big deal when it came down to, they made it seem like it wasn't a big deal. I'm gonna show y'all Julie Jenkins, because one thing that they're doing, how they protect it, I couldn't even hardly find her picture. They're doing the news story because these people have to cover the news, but I could not even find her picture. You get what I'm saying? So I had to dig for her picture, and that picture is over there on like I said, I'm airing it on YouTube. I couldn't find her picture, people. But then if it was me and you, they ready to put our little children on the screen. Every time I turn around, there's a little boy on the screen. Do you see they have the money to make mistakes? They allow the platform for themselves to make mistakes while they ostracize and criminalize us and put us in prisons and do whatever to us. And then if we did something wrong, the first thing they're doing is taking our wealth. Even they love that they planted their drugs and stuff in our city, have our men running around because they needed to get something to take care of their families. And then as soon as they get it, then now we get the wealth, and then the money is taken from the neighborhoods and then redistributed back to the white neighborhoods, but not redistributed into the neighborhoods that they are destroying, that they say that that the drug dealers and everything are riddling. They lump us in together, but they won't lump themselves in together when they do wrong. She is wrong if she and then they only want to boycott because white people was involved, the government, but they making it big, but they not making it big. They trying to tell me and you that they said first it was 800. We seen all them people. It was thousands of people out there. That now, if you look at the news report, what I want to tell you, now they're saying that they probably not going to arrest everybody. They're probably going to let the non-violent ones who don't have no record, they're not going to go after them. And it was probably only 100 people out there. Now I'm going to go over here to the mess is ridiculous. I love how they stick together. It is ridiculous what they're doing now. The Justice Department did say that they're probably not going to arrest everybody, and that they want us to believe that it was only about 100 people out there. Hold on. I don't know if y'all can see that on YouTube, but I'm getting ready to play. This is just a clip. You see this video from here. And like I said, I'm on YouTube. YouTube, if you see that from there, you see all of them people. Does that look just like only 100 people to you? That's from each side of the Capitol. These people are throwing rocks, rioting, and they're doing what they do on the videos to us. On our videos, on the videos when they're killing us, beating us, and doing all this stuff to us, they want me and you to believe that the police is not doing what we see them doing. They want me and you to believe right now, the video I showed on YouTube, that was only about 100 people, and that they're only going to probably go after those that have a record. When they make sure the life of white people is to prevent them from having a record. They know that some of them are going to have a record, but they make sure that we look like we're the criminals, and when they do something, it's unprecedented. They don't know why young white, you know, like grown men, they call them proud boys. It's everything innocent. They associate themselves with everything innocent, and they associate us with everything that's criminal. And we sit back and allow it. They have the power to do it because they got platforms and they have money. They have old money since slavery that they've been passing through each other, through corporations, through government seats, through this game called voting and all that stuff. When one vote, they pour all the corporations pour their money into other white businesses and politicians. Then when the other, even on each side, and then when the next one vote, they still do the same thing with each side, Democrats or Republicans. They got me and you thinking that we got power and we're just actually voting. All we're doing is picking which side is going to ruin the money and keep us as a slave. Because it was times there was all mirror there, like I always tell you, there was always a good slave master and a bad slave master. But the thing that get me is that these people were storming the Capitol because they felt like their rights were taken away. They felt like they want us to boycott Publix because now they using what we use to get their attention. So everything we do, they mimic. They want us to now boycott because they came up here. No, go arrest them, because you got to arrest them. That means you, like I told y'all in my other videos, you arrest them. You got to arrest grandpa, aunts, uncles, cousins, half of the police, all that. But they don't, because they can't do that. How they going to arrest themselves? HH on YouTube said double standards. How are they going to arrest themselves? Dan said them storing was a stage. The people were paid to be there. If you believe that, honey, these people did that. And it's what happened. And they are getting away with it. And they want people like you to say that, so that we can just not worry about white people being arrested, and we go back to normal programming. Black people are the criminals. They need to get the drug dealers. They need to go ahead and enforce the Biden crime bills and all the stuff they have been doing to criminalize us, while they sweep their crimes under the rugs and sit back and watch us play this game called America while they leave us out. They, on my YouTube channel, Straight No Chaser with the Queen, you will see the pictures that they're equivalating. They're angry and they're not getting their way to what we went through. And then they want us to boycott. Now you're using what our tactics, boycotting. Every time we come up with a way to get away or to make ourselves some type of human or to get some dignity, these people come and mock it. You cannot equivalate calling them the C word, the word cracker, with the word, the N word, the word Negro, nigger. You cannot equivalate those two. But yet they don't see what the problem is. Because there is no history of hurt and anguish and oppression behind anything that black people call white people or say about them. But every and anything is for us. The Capitol Police allowed them to in the Capitol. I saw the videos. You are right. That's why I said they couldn't arrest themselves. That's what I'm saying. They are the criminals. What I'm trying to see, what you saw was your government. The Capitol Police is the government. The senators that was letting the people in, that's the government. The paperwork is not the government. The paperwork is the people that are writing these paperworks and writing up what your government is, meaning what is allowed on this land called America and what is not allowed. And what are we going to do with the funds that come and what we're not going to do with them. And we keep playing this game of religion and fighting for rights, right, in the same land that they are allowing themselves to get away with the most heinous crimes. The worst could have happened. They were hoping it was back in the days where it used to be enough of them turning their heads, because slavery went on enough where all the good white people, it wasn't enough of y'all. And this is just educational and just where was all the, because it's just as if y'all say y'all the majority of population, why did slavery go on so long? So that means that everybody's grandparents had to be involved, right? But they don't want us to talk about that type of history, because if it criminalizes us and we put all the dots together, then they can't not wiggle their way out this case that they owe us reparations and more than that. Because if they gave us reparations, we would own America. And they don't want America ran justly and fairly. They don't want to share the shorelines and the beaches and the land. They don't want to share life. They want us to serve them in life. Okay. They want us to serve them in life. They don't want us to share life. That's what we have to understand. We are fighting a human rights problem. And they get away with it, and they get to say who's a criminal, who's not, who's connected to what, and who's not connected. Julia Jenkins Fancelli is connected to Publix because she's the heiress. She spends the money, all the money that, and then how they do it, they sit these grocery stores all in our neighborhoods. So we have no choice but to shop from them. They take our land so we can't farm for ourselves. They take our education, they take our means, and they gave our people all the wrong means to have a life, whether it's getting money in our neighborhoods, drugs, prostitution, human trafficking, stuff, everything that is dehumanizing, that is the only, or playing sports or entertaining them, that has been the only outlets to get this white man's money. It's their money. Their faces are on it. We arguing right now about a black person's face being on a $20 bill, and they say, and y'all believe y'all part of America. This America is being ran by the people. What's a Publix? Oh, you don't know. It's a grocery store. You'll know soon because they coming up just like Walmart. You see how they dummying down Walmart, and now Publix is coming up. It's a grocery store. They selling all this high-end grocery, this and that. It's the grocery store of the Europeans' paradise, basically. It's like a lower end Whole Foods and stuff like that. You know, and they don't want, and they got that. It's all over, especially in the South. See, when you go down here, they take away our land so that we won't be able to produce our own grocery stores. And then that way, that money is diverted to us in our neighborhoods. That's the whole point of the nation and the whole point of coming together so that we can have a place to build our own and divert our money from these racist people and corporations that's all intertwined together that continues to disproportionately leave us out in America. It's evidence is all over. So now it's time to lay the cards on the table. We done been playing this hand of cards of spades too long. It's time to lay down the hand and show what we got, because it's not getting better for black people or melanated or whatever you want to call yourself. Because in every place, in every state, they got a hood for black people. Why? They make you think that's normal. In every place, in every spot of the world, and then in every place, what's good is always the white neighborhoods. We used to have that saying, I'm gonna go move where the white people at. Why do I have to leave my people? Because you corrupted their minds and made my people and my places war zones, just like overseas and everywhere else. Everywhere you touch, the evidence is here that we need our own space. It's not to we don't want to like white people. No, we have to repair ourselves. Reparations mean to repair. That's right. Email us at the nation of Akibulon at gmail.com. The nation of Akibulon at gmail.com. We're getting this together because we need the united. It's going to be the United Nations, but we putting it together and stuff. And it's so a platform so that we will have a major platform where we all can come to, because they make sure we scattered out. And then when we go about our everyday lives, we ain't got no choice but to spend, after we work all day in their corporations, we have to spend their money back in their corporations. Then they got us playing this basically competition game that we gotta start competing on who got the best master label on, called designers, you know. And if I don't care if you spend a lot of money on designer labels, let it be black. It's time to understand what is it about money in this whole system of buying and working that you don't understand, that this is an advanced system of slavery. It used to be the slave masters and the slaves. Now it's the corporations and the people. There used to be poor whites and blacks together. Whites were, they say slaves. No, y'all were indentured servants. You came in the book. You can go to the libraries and you can look it up. It got y'all name because y'all take care and y'all write history because you always want to be good. It's in the books where you were an indentured servant, what boat you came in on, how you came. You came here as not a slave, but like what indentured servant was when black people, when y'all called us saying we had slaves. No, we had indentured servant. Meaning you had to work, or you worked and gave it up to a certain extent to pay off your debt or crime that you did. And most of y'all came over here, and then you had the Homestead Act. After y'all worked for so many years and stuff, y'all were given land and stuff. Some of y'all got mad about how y'all were treated. That's why you had the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, where y'all broke away from Britain and tricked us to fight for y'all, and then told us we were gonna have freedom. And so we fought for y'all freedom because y'all were being treated like shit by Britain and stuff. And then you know how your ancestors knew how it was to be treated. That's why you wanted to break away, because y'all treated yourselves like this shit. And then we fought for y'all. And when white and black people was together, y'all made sure after that happened, y'all broke up. So the poor whites got their promises, because now there's still going to be poor whites, but the majority, when you look at the scale, the 90% of the whites are doing fairly more well than the 90% of the blacks that are poorer. So let's talk truth. Y'all keep talking about this American stuff. If we got, let's lay the damn cards on the table. We got proof. We fought every war for every promise that America has promised us, and America has broke every promise and every treaty. And then you sit up here and treat us like we're the criminals, and y'all commit crimes every day. This was a major crime that was created at the Capitol. And just like y'all use our money and our money when you claim that you will take it out of black communities because it was drugs that was still money in our communities that you took, and then y'all do these programs, oh dare, all this, all that, when y'all are the ones that's in proof that the CIA had planes and was bringing drugs. It's in proof that the government and all y'all put drugs and guns in our neighborhoods. So how come it's our fault and y'all don't want? Why are we arguing about fixing it? If we are a product of our environment, as you say, then Julia, she's a product of y'all environment, white supremacy, because obviously it wasn't enough white people to stop slavery, and it's not enough for y'all good old white people to stop this mess of hiding what is going on in America. That's right. Jermaine H on YouTube said voting is like a chef asking the chicken how it wants to be cooked. Bugani said America wrote over 400 treaties, and guess what? They never upheld their end of any of them because they bought themselves time to create power and weapons and enough programming to people, and the rest of the white people, they don't know their program to defend white supremacy. They think they're defending America, and then they don't know, because they are fed in their private schools the lies and the history the way that the hunter wants to tell the story. You see what I'm saying? So they justify how they treat us because of the lies they're told. So some of them are victims, but it's time for them to grow up the fuck up too, and us to grow up. Hello, Black Mama. Thank you for your donations. Rex out there, Rex and other people, thank you for your donations. Rex and Black Mama and Kathy and a lot of y'all have donated and cashed at me, so I appreciate you. Yo Playton 31, thank you for joining on Instagram. But I'm telling you, Julia Jenkins Fancelli, she is the heiress to Publix, meaning everything that Publix makes, she gets the money because her dad created this grocery store chain called Publix. And they say high-end grocery is like a mini Whole Foods in places. And then Publix is saying that because she funded the coup, she has nothing to do with their day-to-day operations. Well, a lot of mamas didn't have nothing to do with their sons selling drugs, but when they were sitting in that black mamas, when they were sitting in their damn houses, y'all government came and y'all police officers came and took property and stuff. Is a lot. The kids ain't had shit to do with their daddy though, but there's a lot of kids that been put in foster homes and couldn't go with their families and stuff. And there's a lot of damn black kids who lost homes and they couldn't, in cars and stuff, that they wouldn't allow the mamas and families and stuff to leave because they family, because the daddy or whoever sold drugs, they ain't had nothing to do with it. But y'all asses want us to always feel sorry for y'all. You always want us to sympathize, and black people, we do it. This is Black History Month, I guess, as they labeled this the month where white people get to be okay with y'all being black in America, because they show, let's put the cards on the table. How has America treated us? How has America treated black people? Let's lay the cards on Google. Every person from Kamala Harris to Joe Biden has had their hand into slapping and doing something to us. Now, all these good white people that's out there, what have you done? It's not enough to have your black friend. It's not enough to play this game. I'm going to protect my black friend. That's what the slave master did. There was a bad slave master and there was a good slave master. Always. So what are y'all doing? You want us to boycott Publix with y'all when y'all done stuck it in every neighborhood, made sure we ain't got no black stores where y'all can shop with to make this shit fair. Y'all make sure that it's not fair so that white money can never be directed back into the black communities. That's why we need the nation, so we can have spots where money can be back directed. So we can organize ourselves. Because if we waiting on these people to organize us, this is never going to happen. And the way we've been organizing ourselves is ridiculous, because everybody wants to be, I don't know, the main master, the house hopping bob or something for the white supremacist system. We have to admit that this system is destroying us. It has destroyed us. There's too many laws on the book, and most of them laws are directed that even if white people fall into the laws, it is directed because most of these laws are going to predominantly affect black people. So let's stop playing this damn game. Associate every white person and all their corporations to slavery and give some of that money back. Why? If we got arrested, everything has to go. Your bank accounts, if you do something by, how come Wells Fargo, all these corporations get to keep their money and get to keep passing on money? You can connect anybody rich and white that's here in America. Where did your money come from? Because America know that, like I said, I'm gonna give you this. White people are not the white supremacy that they think. White supremacy is racism. It's a system. It's not a white person. It's not a black person. It could be those people playing the game. It's not a Chinese person. The system was against everybody that was not white. Then they let anybody that looked it like they were white enough to come in because it wasn't enough for them. So why do this game? What was the game? To affect, to steal and lie to black people, keep them blinded, keep them oppressed, to keep them to only cherry pick what you need, the intellectual property, because they're going to be so hungry and starving that you're going to sell your intellectual property and businesses to white people for pennies, while they're going to create billions and pass that on as generational wealth. They take from us and then they hide their crimes and hide them. The crime that went on with the U.S. Capitol was serious because these are people that want this to go back to what? Make America great again. They wanted to go back to when it was okay to slap and kill and go in the jailhouse and hang and lynch black people. That's the examples they give. That's what they mean by when they put in nooses up. This is what they mean when they put in the swastika, or whatever. That, you know, it don't make no sense that we sit here and play like we're part of America when America has showed its hand. And Maya Angelou has said what we recited. When the person shows you heart who they are, believe them. Believe them. America don't like y'all black asses. Believe them. They let the police that look like them shoot and kill us in the street, and then they run us over in rallies because we want our human rights. And then they go and tell you that it wasn't enough. It's too many of them to arrest them that was just getting ready to take over a Capitol where people died. They lighten their crime. It's always they lightening something up. That's the bleach families for you. They bleaching something. It's always bleached up for them, but it's always smudged and dark and dirty. And we gotta worry. I gotta fear for my life. They walking around with an unspoken "let's get away with murdering black people" code. join the police, fear for your life in a situation. Boom. We bring the cameras. Fuck them cameras. They don't care. They have an excuse for everything that's right. They robbed us in the midst of a system of this pandemic that's going on where we don't even, they brought a pandemic to our neighborhoods, our doors, and nobody is held responsible. And then the system says that we are dying because of racism. I mean, because we're not healthy, we can't go to doctors, but we still going to work. Ain't that what slaves did? Slaves worked until they died, and ain't nothing damn changed. And then these people want us to boycott because they comparing their shit to our misery that they put us through. How long are we going to sit up here and stay divided? It makes no sense for us to play their game no more. I mean, our backs must be super scary because that's where we usually get shot. Bugani on YouTube. That's right. Then next thing you know, after they got shot, oh, he was a good man. Next thing you know, look at what happened with Amber Geiger. He went there, killed our black man, swept under. She waiting for her 10 years. She gonna have her money when she get out. She got all her support of other murderers with her. The Ku Klux Klan. They infiltrate. What they get the life. What is they make sure we see no hope. The hope they gave us is you could be a president and they show you a white person. You could be this and they show you a white person. You could be this, they show you a Chinese. You could be this, they show you everything and everybody but yourself. You could be vice president and they show you a partially black woman who arrested you and arrested black families, destroyed black families, called herself top cop, and y'all believe the shit. Y'all out here pearls and Converse or whatever them things is. Don't know no black brands, Nick. Yeah, you don't know that you're walking around like, no, master, don't brand me. I brand myself. You taking the means of your wealth and you're putting it back into the white families, and they done said, oh, they found out how not to beat and kill you as slaves. They still need the sport. They used to have arenas where they always did that gruesome stuff. They like that kind of stuff. That's not our nature. There is nothing in history that we did, but there is their history. And they want you to believe we were cannibals. There is nothing in history that black people were cannibals. Matter of fact, we ate more fruits and vegetables. When they brought the slaves over here, the slaves wasn't used to all this meat and heavy foods. And they used to bust the slaves' teeth and shove it down their throat so the slave wouldn't starve themselves to death and die. Because they rather had you working until they make you die than to let you be human and die of your own. Enough is enough with this game that America is playing. They have done everything under the sun to us and hide their hands, and then they write a little thing, and when they use their magical, what I told you, the most dangerous thing for a white man to have is a pen and a paper. That is the most dangerous thing on earth, is a white man, because he enslaved his white woman too. He enslaved her too. But we helped and fight, got her rights, and she was still with them. So because that's them. That's why a lot of them run to our black men. They were like, hey, bump y'all sisters, we'll take dick though, and go to our black men. You see what I'm saying? So that they can reproduce imitation black people to make themselves feel like they're what? Not leaving the real black people out. I'm talking about the ones that was purpose. See, we was on sex farms. It was a lot that was done. White woman used to rape black men. Let's talk about that. And then when she get caught, he get lynched because she's blaming him. There's a lot of conversations we need to have on our land. There's a lot of conversations that we have to have among each other. They are dictating our conversations. They are dictating our hurts. And then you cannot tell anybody who got raped how they should feel. And they should go hug their rapists, and that they should go do business with their rapists, and they rapists should do. We are victims. We are victims. And they want you to say, don't be no victim. You stand strong. Do you want me to be strong, or you don't want me to be strong? It's like we play this game. An illusion fracture occurs when the tendon separates from the bone. That's right. Bugani said researchers have dug up the bones of our enslaved ancestors and found evolution fractures to be more common. That's when it separates the tendons from the bone. I know that's what they meant by they work your fingers to the bone. That's a literal thing. We say things because our people did not know that English because they were African descendants and stuff, or the natives of this land. So they talk and they used to say stuff. A lot of stuff that were passed through because they killed the adult and left the children to grow so they can rape and use and breed like cattle. So you think this shit went on for 400 years. So imagine if I keep you away from your grandparents for your grandparents and you for 100 years. Then when you have kids, you didn't know your grandparents. All you know was slave masters and what the slave masters have showed you. So that next 100 years, that all of that has been wiped out, besides those black people like our revolutionaries that hold on and was going against the system that kept on the traditions. So the white people will whitewash that. So that next 100 years, you completely wiped out, because now the people you brung in on the boats, the enslaved people, they're gone. So they ain't passing down no traditions because you done made sure they can't read, they can't write. Even though they could, the first batch could. So by the time you killed them and they bring in, you don't, when they come in, the next 100, these 100 that's been here 100 years know nothing about those 100 that's coming on the boat, because they only been raised like a animal and in captivity. So all they know is the surroundings that they used to. They can't even imagine, like they say in their Bible, the words have not seen, ears, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, all of that that God got for you. That was stuff that you don't understand, that they was doing to our people. They didn't. They only knew from the slave master house to the fields to doing. So they were born into a life of doing and this and that. So they didn't imagine going back to Africa. They had to. That's why it took so many hundreds of years to break a whole continent of God people. Then after they broke that first 100, the next 100 that come in here, now you got grown people that when they come, then the new boat come in filled with people. Because remember, this went on for hundreds of years. The new boat come in, you got slaves that don't know nothing about freedom or nothing. All they know is that they like a dog. Like you train a dog, that you feed a dog, you attack. Besides those that would tell master something to learn, that's why you got killed and beat for communicating, or you got killed and beat for going to other plantations and stuff until you got permission. You got killed and beat for reading. So that next batch of slaves that came over on that boat, they made sure that they broke the new slaves that came in. The new slaves might want to run, but they wasn't. So that's why you got so many stories. Like I said, start reading your slave narratives, the stuff they should put in our books. We should not be able to send our kids to school, and they should not be teaching history and teaching us the lies that we all know is a lie now. But they made sure that they did this to us, and they did this so they can keep the wealth that Julia is using right now, that funded the rally that Trump and his people used to invade the Capitol. That was the government. That was the U.S. Capitol. How high can you go? And they are debating on whether they're going to arrest them or not. And then they're playing that, like I said, they're playing that game with that video I showed you that tell you that it wasn't that many people there. It was only about 100 when we seen thousands. That mess went on to where they had to bring the National Guard. So stop playing us. They need to stop playing it. We are not the same dumb or ignorant that you wanted to be dumb people. Enough is enough, and enough is enough with us. Look yourself in the mirror and say enough is enough. Yeah, they kept the new slaves from the old slaves to a certain extent. Then they bred half the black people on sex farms. So, black people, it's been incest. They talk about the incest, but that was something normal. You have to understand, it was normal for slaves like dogs have sex in front of people because they were being bred. Mothers and fathers sleeping together. That wasn't our heritage. That was what was put in us. And it's going on to this day in black families that they talk about. But it was done to us on purpose. So some of that stuff from way back hundreds of years ago, when you get incest, it was normal because in black people's society, they imagine you got dogs, you raise dogs like dogs. These people, our black people that were here, knew nothing else. After they broke off the slaves that were coming and the new slaves, they were bred like cattle. The cattle only know the fences that is in. So you have to understand what your people went through, but they don't teach you that. because they want you to blame yourselves for everything you're in so they can continue to enjoy the wealth. And these people were fighting to keep that same power going. And that's why they was at the Capitol, because they wanted it in full force. But yet Biden them, they want the same thing, but they want it done quietly. They want to write rules like he did the crime bill. They want to go ahead and siphon money out of the black neighborhood because they locking up black people. As black people get locked up, we work in their corporations. We're going to work harder at their jobs. That way they ain't got to pay for one salary. They paying part-time people because we get all these half jobs, and now they ain't got to pay benefits. And then you're going to work and you're going to be dedicated because you need that money to go see your children and all of this. Yeah, they had a big orgy on the plantation. They always but they didn't have an orgy. Orgy to me, that's an insult, Ronald. An orgy to me is somebody like or orgy is like basically you agreeing. Our people were forced. They didn't know no better. That when you raise little children, if we had a bunch of little children and raise them, it's okay to have sex and stuff. Like, you see what our generation is doing now, because it's okay to be disrespectful. Look what we got now. It's okay to show that this and that. Look what we got now. I'm not saying the stuff wouldn't have been done, but that's the spotlight on us to do it now. We wouldn't have been doing these things. We were raised like animals, and if you raise and feed and keep an animal in cage, that's all the animal knows. That's all the animal knows. So basically, that's all our people knew. They didn't know to fight to read. They didn't know to fight to go run back to Africa because they wasn't taught it was in Africa. Remember, this went on for hundreds of years. So all these white corporations that you see now, they are going to argue, all these people in government, Kamala, Joe Biden, and all them, any black person that convince you that it's okay for them not to have reparations is not your friend. And I'm just going to tell you, it's time for even black people to separate ourselves from the ignorant ones that do not want to get out of this mess that keep holding our children back for generations. Everybody in America does not have the same opportunity. And America has never fixed the brokenness that they have did to black people. Because if they gave us the money and stuff that they gave us, we would not be the criminals that they say we are. Half of us wouldn't be doing the crimes that we do to get money. So we wouldn't be in these positions. We would be somewhere else, taking our money, probably doing the dreams that we always dreamed of, because no matter the hardest thug, the sexiest stripper, or whatever, the crackheads, everybody have a dream. And I'm pretty sure if everybody had the money, they would be going. Studies show when you give the black people the money, when we go and we have money and we in a safe environment, a different environment, our mentality and everything is different. We wouldn't be out here attacking each other, because that's how it was in the beginning. We need to remember we had a life before slavery. This is what interrupted us. But we cannot keep allowing us to be the ones in the news to be criminalized and lumped in together, and then they separate themselves. They are saying that the Publix heiress funded the Trump campaign. Publix is saying, oh, she doesn't do anything in operation, but yeah, her money comes from Publix. So if you're going to shut everything down like they do black people, Publix needs to be shut down, because that's how all of them, that's how she was funding Trump. And they attack the government, because if it's me and you, they take our cars and everything. They don't care about the little black kids that stayed in them houses that the drug dealers that they daddy had, because it was he was a drug dealer. They ain't give a damn if the child went to protective service and didn't have a house. They ain't give a damn if the child had nothing to do with it. They wanted, they take cars, houses. Black people, we know what we talking about. So enough is enough with allowing them to get away with stuff. And now they're saying they're not even going to arrest all the people, because they want me and you to look at this thing and say that it was only about 100 people out there, so it wasn't that bad. It was thousands of people. They don't want to arrest themselves because they don't want to take grandma, auntie, cousins, nephews, sisters, brothers to court, or judges, because they are the judges. They don't want to release that. So the best thing to do is let America have America, and we start doing business among each other. We start respecting each other, and we start having our black unity, people, because that's the only way we're going to make it. We have to see that these people ain't for us. Like I said before, we're not against white people. We're against the white supremacist system that allows white people to always go first before us while using us. And I don't have to be used no more. Black Mama said, I just found out yesterday that my ex sister-in-law has an appointment in the White House. I told my children that even though their aunt is on the Biden Harris administration, we still don't support B1. That was about turning the South. The details at Ron details turn my dreams into visual occurring nightmares. I don't know what Bugani was saying, but look, that's right. No, it's not that we don't support. Hopefully, what we do, we gotta know government. Let it go. We need to learn both. It doesn't mean don't know, learn and stuff. We gotta if it's gonna be people that be, we just want our black people to acknowledge that we're part of the nation. We have to have a platform we're all on. So it's gonna be some people that even if you're in a nation doesn't mean you have to give up what you do in America. If you're gonna still be Democrat and vote, then you be Democrat and vote and stuff. But what you have to be smart is that we have to start putting our own people in office that really represent us, not none of these people who half represent us. I don't care if Kamala was raised with us and her history was showing how she fighted for black people, that's different. But it's ridiculous to say this woman called herself top cop.